Now, to shed more light on how Nigeria can meet increasing demand for oil and gas products and its implications on the oil and gas, we have experts Balazaka. He joins us virtually from Lagos. You're welcome to Business Express.
Thank you, and I greet our viewers and listeners across the globe.
Okay, sir, you have been in this industry for long. We just had a report from the National Assembly that heads must roll in the oil and gas sector. What does that mean? What is happening?
Uh, First of all, for a matured oil and gas industry like the Nigerian oil and gas industry, if after close to probably 50 years or almost 5 decades, the Nigerian oil and gas industry is not doing well, and the Nigerian oil and gas industry is not supplying the West African sub-region, the Nigerian oil and gas industry is not supplying the continent of Africa with the required experience, with the required products, with the required crude oil, then I am in tandem with what our leaders are saying, that heads must roll. Because based on the development of the Nigerian oil and gas industry, based on what Nigerians are doing across the global oil and gas industry in different nations, by now Nigerian oil and gas industry should be a hub. And if we are not having it right, the only thing that should happen is heads need to roll.
Okay, talking about heads rolling, what are the real issues? Yes, we've been battling with oil theft in the Niger Delta region. At some point, the situation gets to subside and oil production is increased. We do good exports, have foreign exchange back into the country. We have different sides, not just in the south now, but also in the northern part of the country, talking about oil exploration, which you've been a part of some of those background discoveries. Then now we're talking about availability of even PMS and the AGO. What are the real issues and how do we get out of this?
Thank you for that excellent question. Till this morning, I was involved in drilling meetings with about 3 different companies, and that simply means till this morning I'm up to date with what's going on in the oil and gas industry. What I can tell you right now is this: it's very clear to everybody that as far as even crude oil production is concerned, we are not able to meet up with our OPEC quota. And apart from meeting up with our OPEC quota, which we are supposed to sell to the international market and generate revenues, we are supposed to be able to be producing enough quantity of crude oil for our internal consumption. We are supposed to be able to produce enough crude oil for all the refineries that we were planning to have, whether they are major refineries or modular refineries. We are supposed to be able to be producing and processing and supplying distillates across the West African sub-region. By the time you look at the quantity of natural gas that we have, because from natural gas you will get ammonia, from ammonia you will get urea, from urea you will get fertilizer. That means we are supposed to be self-sufficient in terms of fertilizer within Nigeria, and for all the countries in the West African sub-region and the continent of Africa, we should be the ones supplying fertilizers to them for their agriculture. But by the time you look at the way things are going, I mean, we have not even been able to produce to meet up with our OPEC quota. We have not been able to produce to supply even the few refineries internally. We've not been able to process our gas to generate electricity. We've not been able to process our gas to be able to produce fertilizer and boost food security and agriculture. So regardless of even the factors, the fact that we've not been able to meet up, that means something is wrong.
Okay, talking about Talking about something is wrong. Let's talk about that which affects the common man, the you and I on the street. The PMS, we need to move from one point to the other. We need to transport food products, which is skyrocketing in prices every day. Talking about crude oil production from 1.2 to 1.5 and an expected 1.7 that we're not able to reach. What are those issues? We hear the cost of drilling, the cost of producing crude oil per barrel is actually Nigeria has about the highest. What are the issues? What can be done to minimize cost of production to get to impact on increased production and availability?
Thank you for that excellent question. The question like you ask is this: why is it that producing cost per barrel or unit cost is very expensive in Nigeria in terms of production of crude oil?
Yes.
The answers, first of all, are straightforward, but the unfortunate thing about the answers is they are self-inflicted injuries. Because as I speak to you right now in Nigeria, we are not experiencing any natural calamity. If we were to be experiencing natural calamity or natural disasters, we will say, okay, natural disaster took place and ravaged Nigeria, so we are trying to build up. As we speak also, Nigeria is not in a state of war. If Nigeria were to be in a state of war, we would have said, okay, we have all these issues now because we have been in a state of war, we are now reconciling. The painful thing is they are all artificial and self-inflicted. And let me start itemizing them now. When you talk about the vandalism and criminality and breaking of crude oil pipes, those are local problems. Those are self-inflicted problems. Whatever could have been the motivation for some people to go and break crude oil pipes or to go and destroy the assets or the resources or investment of investors, first of all, is wrong. Regardless of the economic conditions, whether our leaders are treating us right or wrong, that does not give communities or criminals the right to go and be destroying the investment of and be stealing the products of investors. And when I talk about the products of investors, I'm talking about stealing of crude oil.
Okay, sorry to hold your thoughts. I know you're atomizing some of these challenges and way forward. I have a question to ask about this crude oil theft. Technology is being deployed to safeguard the pipelines and where these critical infrastructures are located. There has been community engagement. There has been contracts given to people who are very close to these locations. Yet the discoveries, the stories we hear from these places, it's not gladdening to the ear. What else needs to be done apart from what has been done to nip this challenge in the bud?
The answer is simple. Regardless of the level of artificial intelligence or robotics technology that you deploy, remember that technology was developed by man, and technology will be deployed after the development by man. What is happening in the case of Nigeria is that all these criminalities are well crafted, well syndicated, well coordinated, and well orchestrated criminalities. And because the technologies will be deployed by man, if these are well crafted and syndicated criminality, the technology will fail. And let me expand a little bit. If there is a collusion with some people who are disloyal citizens and are members of a community, and we have also collusion by some security agents. We also have some collusion by government regulatory agencies. We also have some collusion from even those you call security agencies. Technology will fail because technology is deployed by man. And those people that we technically call the stakeholders that will make the production possible, if there is collusion among them or betrayal among them, technology will not work. So the question is, why is it that till now there is well-crafted and syndicated criminality that succeeds? Then now we need to ask ourselves, what are the regulatory agencies doing? What is happening to to the host communities? What is also happening to even employees of some of those investors? So these are the questions. And I tell you, when you go to other countries, this kind of syndicated criminality does not work. And there is something I want to let everybody know. Even the criminals who go to some of those communities to go and break pipes and steal, when they come, they distribute goods, they give food, they even give monies so that they can enjoy cover for them to carry out their activities in darkness.
Okay, Mr. Zaka. Mr. Zaka, with all these challenges which are very open up in the public space, what is the way to go? More so that we're expecting so much from the Dangote refinery.
The answer is straightforward and simple. Let us start with our leaders. And what I mean by leaders now is it is at the federal level, state level, local government level, and royal fathers. Our leaders are those that we have handed over our economic, political, and social destiny for them to manage in national interest. And to that extent, now let us start with the host communities. If there is a need to take care of the host communities, please take care of them. Let's also talk about the security agencies. If security agencies, of course, are supposed to be Nigerian security agencies working in connivance with probably private security agencies. If there is a need for them or for their workers to be taken care of, please take care of their workers. Then let us also do something about the general welfare of everybody. Then also regulatory agencies now, which are owned by government. If there is a need for whistleblowers, let the whistleblowers be protected. But most importantly, every country that has crude oil and gas, if the dividend is reaching the citizens, if the dividend is used to develop sectors, and people are seeing electricity, people are seeing education, people are seeing health care, and the rest, average citizens will be loyal to their government and their leaders, whether it is in Nigeria or it's in Africa or anywhere. So first of all, leaders should do the right thing. Then it is the duty of citizens to be loyal to their leaders. But while doing the right thing, it is also the duty of citizens and leaders to make sure when investors come in, whether they are local investors or foreign investors, it should be borne in mind that probably those investors collected loans. So when they come to invest, let us help them so that their investment will yield the necessary
result. Yes, I would have, Mr. Zaka, I would have loved to continue this conversation, particularly on the point you just made, talking about attracting foreign investments. But the challenge in country needs to be sorted out well before investors from out will be attracted to coming in to be sure that their investments are protected. That has been promised by the government, and we understand efforts have been intensified to ensure that that is also being achieved in the shortest possible time. Thank you very much. You've not just spoken your mind, but the minds of so many Nigerians, including yours sincerely sitting here. Thank you, Mr. Zaka.
Thank you.